Hi friends, my name is Zeenath K J from Wings Training Solutions, and I welcome you all to Common Errors in the Usage of Pronouns video. In this video, we will discuss many sentences in which we tend to commit a lot of mistakes in our daily conversation, which will help us to crack many questions under the umbrella of error spotting as well as sentence correction. So let's get started. The first sentence, what I have here says, "Who's at the door? It's me." Usually, this is a very common response, what you tend to receive from anybody across the country. The moment the question starts with who, we always end the answer with me. It's me. Who did this? It's me. Who wrote this? It's me. Who raised the hand first? It's me. It actually goes on. There is something what we all have to learn significantly, which can help us to improve our sentences. So let's learn that. Friends, there are actually 9 types of pronouns. Once you learn them, trust me, more than 20% of the mistakes what we tend to commit in our day-to-day conversation will automatically get vanished. Okay, so this sentence what we actually have is based on one of the types of the pronouns. So we need to get into it to learn the same. I, you, we, they, she, he, it are actually called subjective pronouns. Why? Because they always play the role of a subject in a sentence. I repeat, they always play the role of a subject in a sentence. For example, if I say, "You are my family," so what am I talking about in the sentence? I'm talking about you. So you becomes the subject in the sentence. We are professional players. Who are professional players? We are professional players. It means we are talking about we in the sentence. So the word we becomes the subject in the sentence. Okay. So what is the moral of the story here? Point to be noted. Whenever a question is formed with who, whenever a question is formed with who, your answer must be kept in the form of subjective pronoun. Hey, who's at the door? It's I, Zeenath. Who wrote this? It's he, Sunil. Who raised the hand first? It's she, Radha. So if you would like to mention the name after each of the subjective pronouns, as I mentioned in the sentence, it's okay. Otherwise, you can just point out at the person and say, it's I who did it. It's she who wrote it, which is very important over here. Okay, it's the same thing what is working out in the sentence too. The sentence is actually starting with who. So what did I say? Whenever the question is started with who, please make sure your answer is kept in the form of subjective pronoun. So me, for your kind information, is not a subjective pronoun, my dear friends. It's an objective pronoun, which is usually used at the end of the sentence. Point to be noted, subjective pronouns are used in the beginning of the sentence and objective pronouns are used at the end of the sentence. That's the rule. The answer has to be, who is at the door? It's I. That has to be the correction. Okay. Look at the next sentence. This is also based on the same concept. That's why we have these two sentences back to back. Is that Ramya? Yes, it's she. Is that Arun? Yes, it's he. Is that you? Yes, it's I. Okay, so that's how the sentences have to be. Here, the word him has to be replaced with he. Let's go to the next sentence. It was her who completed the project first. So basically, this is an answer to the question, who completed the project first? Who completed the project first? Once again, this is also based on the same. It is she who completed the project first. Who completed the project first? It's I who completed the project first. Who completed the project first? It's they who completed the project first. That's the reason the word her has to be replaced with she. Let's go to the next sentence. She is a better cook than him. This sentence must be looking absolutely fine to all of us because we tend to use this left, right, and center in our day-to-day conversation. Friends, unfortunately, there is a blunder in the sentence. Let's get to know more in detail based on the same. The sentence what we read just now is actually based on a concept called comparative degree sentence, where you're comparing something with something else or someone with somebody else. That's the meaning. What is actually the full form of the sentence? She is. So the full form of the sentence is she is a better cook than he is a better cook. This is the full version of the entire sentence. Okay. However, I don't know whether you're able to notice this or not. You are comparing she with he, where both are subject. That's why I mark them as subject 1 and subject 2. So what did I tell you? Whenever you use the pronouns in the subjective form, it has to be in the avatar of I, you, we, they, she, he, it. It's the same thing what we are following once again over here. It's based on the same concept what we learned few minutes ago. Okay, so please understand, she is, who is? She is a better cook than he is a better cook. So instead of coming up with this lengthy sentence, what we do, we actually cut it short here itself. So this is there in the background, but we never tend to say that when we come up with a sentence, right? So that's why it's going to be, she is a better cook than he. I am taller than she. She is smarter than I. So it has to always end with a subjective pronoun. Please keep this in mind. It has to end with a subjective pronoun. Now let's go back to the sentence and do the correction. What should be the correction, my dear friends? She is a better cook than he, not him. Than he will be the correct answer. Let's go to the next sentence. He praised my sister and I. Oh, here the subjective pronoun what we have used is actually incorrect. You have to keep this in mind. Subjective pronouns are usually used in the beginning of the sentence, and objective pronouns are always used at the end of the sentence. Not only objective pronouns, even the reflexive pronouns, we have the same rules for them. Both of them are used at the end of the sentence. That's one of the reasons why we have been discussing the common errors in the usage of pronouns in this video. We tend to commit a lot of mistakes left, right, and center, my dear friends. So here the sentence has to be, he praised my sister and me. He praised my sister and me. Okay, he did not praise I, he praised me. He praised her. He praised him. He praised us. He praised them. In all the examples what I gave, consistently the pronouns are in the objective form. Me, her, them, us, you, etc. So that's why the correction has to be, he praised my sister and me. Let's go to the next sentence. No one can cook like she. What's the correction? It's not she, it is her. No one can cook like her. That's the correction, my dear friends. No one can dance like him. No one can sing like them. No one can act like me. Where you're comparing one person with everybody across the globe, but you're saying no chance that something can happen like this. No one can sing like Shreya Ghoshal. So if I replace the word Shreya Ghoshal with a pronoun, then the pronoun has to be her. No one can dance like Hrithik Roshan. Now replace Hrithik Roshan with a pronoun. No one can dance like him. No one can play like ABC players. Again, replace ABC players with the pronoun. No one can play like them. Okay, so consistently, again, in this particular form of sentence, you're supposed to use the objective pronouns, not the subjective pronouns. Let's go to the next sentence. There are no secrets between you and she. What's the correction, my dear friends? Now it must be very easy to correct? There are no secrets between you and her. There is no secret between you and me. There is no secret between them and us. Okay, the same form of sentences is actually where we are supposed to use the objective form of pronouns. Let's go to the next one. This is actually going to be very interesting, my dear friends. I and he go to college, or he and you have done well. These two sentences are based on something exclusive and very significant. Let's talk about it in detail. In pronouns, my dear friends, there is something called order of pronouns. So what do you mean by order of pronouns? Whenever you use few or many pronouns in a sentence, you are supposed to keep all those pronouns in an order. That's actually is called order of pronouns. You can't, to actually implement this, you need a rule. This rule is actually called put the donkey at the end. So who is the donkey here? Usually the speaker is the donkey. Imagine now I'm actually talking about, let's say, she, he, you, and I. The order of pronouns clearly tells us your order should always start with the listener and end with the speaker. I repeat, it should always start with the listener and end with the speaker. Definitely out of she, he, you, I, who's my listener? You. So you will be put in the beginning of the order and I has to come at the end of the order. You can put she, he. The sentence is going to be you, she, he, and I are supposed to work on this project. This has to be the correct order. Okay. Let's say I'm showing you other variations here. Let's say she and he are not there. Then what will be the sentence? You and I have to talk to each other. I think you and I need to keep this secret. You and I cannot keep fighting with each other like this for a longer duration. Get my point? So you and I. Let's imagine now. In the order, you is not there at all. I just have she, he, and I. Look at this. The order continues. If the listener who is listening to you is involved in the sentence, please start the order always with the listener. If the listener is not involved in the sentence, then go to the third person. Whether you're saying she, he, and I, or you're saying he, she, and I, that doesn't matter. The order here can change. I repeat, the order here can change, no problem. Okay, but what matters the most is the listener and the speaker, my dear friends. All right, so this is the rule what we have in terms of order of pronouns. Let's apply this into sentences and correct all the sentences. See here, what does it say? It says, I and he go to college. No, what should be the correct sentence? It has to be he and I go to college. He and you have done well? No, you is actually the listener, right? So you should always be put in the beginning. So what will be the sentence? You and he have done well in the exam. You and she done so well on the stage. You and I are going to get married soon. Now let's correct this also because this is also based on the same concept what we discussed. I, he, and you are in the same team. Now correct it, my dear friends, and let me know. You can take few seconds time. You can pause the video. You can correct it. It's very easy to correct now. It's not I, he, and you. It has to be, my dear friends, you, he, and I are in the same team. That's the correct one. Let's go to the next sentence. Go and enjoy. This must be absolutely fine to all of us because we keep telling this. Hey, go and enjoy. Tell her to go and enjoy. Tell him to go and enjoy. This is very common. But in English, this is considered an incomplete sentence. An incomplete sentence. Okay. Now the question what comes here when you use this is go and enjoy what? Go and enjoy the party, go and enjoy the wedding, go and enjoy yourself. What exactly are you asking me to go and enjoy? So that is what is the incomplete version over here. So remember, in this sentence, it should always end with a reflective pronoun. One, terms and conditions apply. Reflective pronoun will come into picture only when you're not using any noun. Noun means any name. Hope it's making a lot of sense now. Yeah. So what are reflexive pronouns, my dear friends? Have a look at these. Myself, yourself, ourselves, themselves, herself, himself, itself. These are actually called reflective pronouns because these are reflections of subjective pronouns. Okay. Go and enjoy yourself. Ask her to go and enjoy herself. Ask him to go and enjoy himself. They told us to go and enjoy ourselves. We told them to go and enjoy themselves. See, the legacy continues. And that's why the correction in the sentence has to be go and enjoy yourself. Or you can use it in the other way around by using a pronoun. As I've already mentioned, go and enjoy the party. Go and enjoy the wedding. Go and enjoy the event. Go and enjoy the convocation. Okay, that's also absolutely fine. The next sentence what we have here is he availed of the opportunity. Friends, this rule is actually connected to the word availed. Please keep this in mind. Whenever you use the word availed, it should be followed by a reflective pronoun. I repeat, it should be followed by a reflective pronoun. Reflective pronoun of what? Reflective pronoun of the pronoun what you have already used in the sentence. Reflective pronoun of I is myself. Reflective pronoun of you is yourself. Reflective pronoun of we is ourselves. Reflective pronoun of they is themselves. Reflective pronoun of she is herself. Reflective pronoun of he is himself. Reflective pronoun of it is itself. Okay, so now the sentence is starting with what? The sentence is actually starting with he. It means as I'm using the word avail in the sentence, it should be immediately followed by the reflective pronoun of he, that is himself. The correction, my dear friends, to the sentence has to be he availed himself of the opportunity. Okay, likewise, I availed myself of the opportunity. She availed herself of the opportunity. They availed themselves of the opportunity. We availed ourselves of the opportunity. Okay, this continues. All right, so remember, whenever you use the word avail, it should be followed by a reflective pronoun of the subject what you have used. Let's go to the next one. Myself found it first. Now it's time for all of us to learn another important rule with regard to reflexive pronouns. As we all know, these words are called reflexive pronouns and these are reflections of subjective pronouns. There is something very important what we have to keep in mind. Do you know what's that? It's nothing else but reflexive pronouns cannot be used unless you're using the subjective pronoun in the same sentence. Point number one. Point number two, reflexive pronouns are always used at the end of the sentence, my dear friends, not in the beginning of the sentence. That's why, I don't know whether you have noticed this or not, a lot of people have this habit of saying, myself Zeenath, myself Anita, myself Rishi. Right? We always say that, but this is grammatically incorrect. You are talking about you. It means you are the subject, right? So as you're talking about you and you become the subject, you cannot use reflexive pronouns in the form of subject. Point to be noted. You have to use only the subjective pronouns as subjects in sentences. If you're using a pronoun, pronouns will come into picture only when you're not using the noun, correct? From the same perspective I'm talking about. To introduce yourself, either you can say, hi, my name is Zeenath, the traditional way, or you can say, I am Zeenath. Apart from my name is Zeenath, I am Zeenath, You cannot say myself Zeenath, myself Sunita, myself Anita. That's absolutely incorrect. Please keep this in mind. All right. As you're talking about the subject in the sentence, my dear friends, it cannot be myself found it first. It has to be I found it first. Who found it first? I found it first. Who found it first? You found it first. Who found it first? She found it first. Who found it first? They found it first. This has to be the appropriate usage of the pronouns. Let's go to the next one. I must take your leave. This sounds as if I'm in the verge of snatching your leaves. There is a mistake, my dear friends. The sentence has to be, I must take leave of you. Means this is like seeking permission from the other person, saying, I think I have to leave right now. I must take leave of you. Okay. I must take leave of them. I must take leave of her. I must take leave of him. Okay. All these have to be in the form of objective pronouns. All right, friends, that's all I have got for all of you in this video. I'm going to be back very soon with another exciting video to teach you all how we can correct our day-to-day conversation much better. So until then, please take a great care of yourself and have a great time ahead. And please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the video.